212 team, very mature, a bunch of young men on the field, athletically very sound, veteran attack. Kids been playing together for 2 to 3 years. We have a new addition on attack, Caleb Holt, who transferred to us from Anne Arundel Community College, formerly a Division I signing with UMBC, and made his way to Mount St. Mary's. We have Brett Schmidt, Andrew Scally, and Anthony Golden, who are veteran Mount St. Mary's kids. Been playing on attack amongst each other for 2 to 3 years. First line midfield is a veteran midfield with Brian Schmidt, Danny Stranix, and returning to the lineup is Jake Willeritz. This year, Eric Osaski, who rounded out that first line, is going to take a seat in redshirt, so we can get him back for the 213 automatic qualifier season. And then running on the second line will be Connor Carey, Christian Kellett, and Mike Atkins. Again, all 6 of these guys have been veteran players, so we're very strong at the midfield. We got a couple new faces on defense. Brendan Rooney is a veteran, started for us last year, senior captain, along with Kevin Downs, who's a returning starter, sophomore, all NEC kid. And then we have a couple new faces getting in the lineup with Shane Pierce, Timmy Durkin, and freshman Kyle O'Brien. And in the cage, we got a new face who's just a sophomore. That's Chris Kleiber. So overall, I think we're a little bit more sound than last year in terms of having more mature kids on the field. We're going to miss Cody Lair and Mark Burns, who's our #1 long stick midi, along with Eric Osaski. Those kids are going to sit the year out as senior redshirts. We're going to help those kids pursue an MBA, and we're going to get them back for the 213 season when we get that automatic qualifier.
The leaders on this team, we have 4 captains this year, myself being one of them. I still think we look to our seniors, Mark Burns and Cody Lair, as more vocal leaders that have the most to say and to motivate us and communicate between the coaches and players. And I think the underclassmen are doing a good job of watching as well as listening to those upperclassmen and trying to emulate what they're doing on the field. Yeah, so Cody and Mark are redshirting, as well as Eric Osaski. 3 seniors are redshirting, which is going to be huge to lose during the season. Probably close to 70 points on average, I guess, for Mark and for Eric and Cody. And then losing Mark on the defensive side of the ball is going to be big. Like I said, the defense is young, and Mark is a vocal guy and plays the game well. And I think it's still good that they're going to be at practice and walking underclassmen through things, as well as helping those that are going to take their place during the games.
We have a little bit of depth. I think Chris Kleiber, the goalie who played behind TC last year as a freshman, has really solidified his ability to help us win this year, and that starting job. Behind him, there's a young kid, freshman, that's Kevin Hess, who's coming along. So I think we'll be okay there. So far, we played in 2 scrimmages, and Chris has done a nice job, So, in terms of really worrying about that, I'm not concerned. We're going to keep that young man battling, keep his confidence going in the right direction. As far as Benny Trapp, John Marcelise, who's a junior for us, has trained under Benny now for 2 years, and I think Benny did his job of really helping him grow as a face-off kid. He's in the #1 spot, and he's doing a nice job for us, and I hope that continues. We do have some depth with a couple other kids that we brought in, freshmen, with Chris Selmer and Nick Haley, but for now it's going to be the John Marcelise show at the Face-Off X this year. I was a little bit concerned, but these kids are they're committed young men. They're very intelligent, and I think my job, as well as my staff, is to keep these kids humble and playing hard. Basically, the bottom line is nobody cares what you did in 2011 because it's a brand new season and everybody's gunning for it. So as long as they understand and really have a short memory in terms of what they have accomplished, but not in terms of how they did it, all right, and how committed they are, I really feel that we can repeat what we did in both the 210 and 211 season with conference championships. Our goal this year is to make the playoffs and settle it from there.
It definitely means a lot to come off back-to-back championships. I think we did a good job of taking on the underdog role for the past 2 years, and this year we're actually picked to win the conference, which says a lot, and says a lot about the hard work we put in. But it's going to be interesting to see how we come out and act like we are the team that they're coming out to beat. So we got to work even harder. We got a target on our backs, and it could make for a long season, but it could also make for an enjoyable season to finally live up to an expectation that we've been respectfully given.
I think every year our goal is to make the playoffs and then settle from there. I've learned both as a player and as a coach that when you get into that time of year where it's playoff season, athletes handle pressure differently, and those athletes and teams that handle pressure and play well win, and you'll see it right through the NCAA tournament as well. So our job as a staff is to stay organized, keep these kids humble, and working hard.
Basically, the goals for this season aren't that much different than the past 2 seasons that I've been here. We always want to come out hard and work hard and play together as a team, a disciplined blue-collar team. And so I don't think much changes this year. It's just we want to defend that respect that was given to us. We want to prove them right this year for once, and I think we want to come out and win the championship again and hopefully make some noise, pull off some upsets. Making
sure these guys stay committed in practice, bring the passion we're looking for on the field, practice first. I think they learned a hard lesson last week, or a good lesson, really. We didn't practice very well, and we went down to UMBC with an attitude that potentially we're going to roll them, and they lost. We didn't keep score, but at the end of the day, we know who won and who lost, and hopefully it's a painful growing experience for us that's going to help us, mature in the right way. And again, my philosophy is staying humble in your life, practicing hard. That's where starting jobs are rewarded, and we'll get good things done on the weekend when we're playing the game.
In order to be successful this year, I think we need to really rally behind our defense. We lost a lot of key defenders last year, including TC in goal. So we got to rally behind Chris, the sophomore, and hopefully give him the support that he needs and still maintain the offensive production that we have in the past 2 years. And basically just buy into the philosophies that coaches have been preaching since day one, and I think we'll be all right.
We have some tremendous opponents on the schedule this year. I mean, we have last year's Final Two or championship teams, that's Maryland and UVA, come to Emmitsburg this year, which is wonderful. I think for the university, for the community itself, of bringing big-time Division I lacrosse to this area. But we have some other worthy opponents as well in Georgetown, Towson, Drexel. Playing at the University of Michigan, which is as big as they come in terms of their size. I mean, we have some great opponents, and the conference is filled with there isn't a layup in any of the teams. I mean, Wagner's under new management. They have a young man who played at UVA, and he's as good as they come. So I'm certain he's going to get those guys organized, and they're going to be good. So, again, it's about it's about the opportunity of playing these out-of-conference teams and preparing us for, the conference. First two teams we play in the conference are the last 2 teams we played in 212 or 211 season, being Quinnipiac and Bryant. And the way it works out, if our guys can stay focused and win those games, we're going to be in the hunt to not only win this conference again, but a personal goal of mine, as the head coach, is to host that tournament here again in 212, and we're going to be in the hunt to host that tournament here if that's the case. I'm obviously excited about the conference games towards the end of the season, as well as the Maryland game.
which is towards the end of our season as well. In the past, we've played a lot of good teams at the beginning of the season when we're still trying to build on that chemistry and develop a sense of identity as a team. And I think it'll be good to come out almost towards the end of our season where we're kind of on a roll and have an opportunity to pull an upset against Maryland.
We're very mature at both ends of the field, and maybe, you know, on paper a little bit immature at the face-off X and in the goal. But I think overall we have a very solid team, and the key is again is to keep these kids working hard, keep them healthy and focused on both sides of the street. You know, I will say that kids who do well in the classroom do well in the field for us. You know, and I learned that as a former student athlete. You know, I had my best years in the spring when I was in school, and my time was very well managed for me. And we're trying to obviously get these kids to understand that as well. You know, so as long as they stay focused on both sides of the road, I think we're going to do very well this year.
This is a pretty senior and junior laden team. We've been together for the past 2 or 3 years mostly, and so the chemistry is definitely there. But like I said, the defense is new and adding some new components, so I think that's going to be big to get behind them, help them develop a chemistry and have them buy into what Coach Johnson has for them. It means a lot to have a game before UVA. In the past, we've come out and kind of got smacked by them the first game of every season, since I've been here at least. And so it'll be good to get some tests against another teams like Delaware. But to open up with Virginia at home is big. I mean, hopefully get a lot of fans out here and make a good atmosphere and hopefully give them a run for their money.